Well, hello. This is Sam. Pillsbury Wine Company. We're doing another wine tasting with this married couple who can be close together. This is...
Yes.
Hello, I'm Val.
And Jason.
And this is episode 2 of Vino with Val. And this is a special segment where we're just going to talk about our wild children. And I'm pretty excited that this little gem right here is open. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
WildChild Red?
Yes.
WildChild
This
Red.
is by far my favorite of all the wild children in the red category. And there's still some floating around out there. We'll tell you how to get it before this is over. But we're gonna start with our newest WildChild, WildChild White 18.
Nice.
And Jason, I don't even know that you've tried this but one time so far.
Yeah, maybe only once. I mean, it's we just really got a good amount of it in, and I can't wait to open back up and start showing this off to everybody.
I know. So, as with most things, I didn't know quite how I felt about WildChild White 18 right at first. It's got a little bit of everybody in it. So I'm going to read this. It's got 36% Symphony. We've got 36% Malvasia, two of our favorites. Little touch of Pinot, Riesling, and Viognier. I'm interested to see you react to this because I know I haven't tasted it with you yet.
It smells really soft. You know how you get that smell, like it just kind of like...
Soft.
Very...
Well, softer than the 17 ones.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, we've got all sorts of wild children out there, and that 2017 won double gold at the San Francisco Chronicle. And it's fun for me to talk about these and to get on the backside of learning about really what our wild child blends are. Guys, we're figuring out what all the single varietals are first and those best barrels, and Sam and the entire team, I've had the honor to go down there and try things like that. Then comes the wild child, is really kind of at the end, like, well, what do we have left? What do we think would go good together? And it's kind of like this happy accident almost every time. Would you agree with that, Sam?
Yeah, it's really funny. One of the strange things that happens with wine is you can put two excellent wines together and make a blend that tastes like Charles Shaw, and you can do the opposite. And we have consistently been getting almost more awards for our WildChild Red and WildChild White than we do for our varietals.
Isn't it something?
Yeah, I mean, the 17 got a double gold. The 15 was just called the best white wine in the state by Phoenix New Times, and this baby is new. It's about to go out into the marketplace and the public.
And if you see this baby out in the marketplace and in the public, take it from me. It is a gem. Pick yourself up a half case if they have it left on the shelf. Just don't be a jerk, don't buy up everything left on the shelf.
Yeah, well, we're sold out of it. I mean, you can still get it at AJ's and Total Wines, and there's one Costco in Arcadia that has some left too, but that's it. It's all gone. We're getting ready to bottle the 18 in the next couple of weeks.
This is it is so good, and what I enjoy about Pillsbury white wine in general is that it's not so abrasive on the palate.
Right.
And it's like really soft, and it's coating the palate, and you really get a lot of cool flavors out of it. It doesn't really make you get the burny feeling, here.
It doesn't claw.
It doesn't claw all the way down, so and I can see this going with a lot of different food. Something with a little kick to it would be nice.
I like how you touched on the palate of the Pillsbury whites. I agree with that wholeheartedly. I do feel that some of the whites right out the gate when we first bottle them, they are so aromatic that some of them, I don't want to say that a floral can be abrasive, but at times when you're not expecting it to be that aromatic on the nose, it's a surprise until you just kind of let your glass sit there and let it relax a little bit. But that's exciting because they're ever changing as you let them sit there and let them open. You try a different bite of food with it. That to me is a whole new world because I wouldn't touch whites or rosés before moving to Arizona and meeting Sam Pillsbury.
There's a good reason for that because a lot of whites are made with in big tanks. They don't let them ferment quite dry, and they throw bags of oak chips in them to give them more flavor. And you're not really tasting the wine anymore. And also what happens is they become cloying in style. And it's one thing to drink a cocktail and have it be cloying, but we make food wines. We make these wines to go with food, and the whole point of them is to balance with the food and refresh and clean your palate. So we make these wines lean, bone dry. They're 50-50 fermented in stainless steel and neutral oak barrels, so there's no oak flavor. And they're all fermented with the wild yeast that they come in from the vineyard on. So they're totally local, and they're very clean and fresh.
Yeah, this is really, really good.
Yeah,
I think,
coming into itself.
you know, being that Pillsbury was the first job I ever had in the industry of serving alcohol or wine or anything,
Same.
it really set the tone for me on what I recognize as a good wine, and it has to start with a bouquet. And I have to have,
sure.
if it doesn't smell good, I probably won't even taste it.
For sure.
You know, and you know, just by smelling it, I can see what it's going to be and how it's going to kind of unfold on the palate. And really, I can just sit and just smell wine for just all the time, just sniff it. I don't even have to drink it. I'm still enjoying it.
I've done wine pairings with chefs who can't drink, and they do the food and wine pairings using their nose, and it works perfectly.
Yes, the nose is one of my favorite sayings. People in the tasting room, when it's open and, you know, under other circumstances, if I'm popping a bottle of red on a busy Saturday, I often would just put a little bit in the glass, let my nose smell it, and you can tell right off the bat most time. And 80% of what we are tasting, folks, starts right here with what you are smelling, and our smell is related to our memory. So what you smell versus what we smell is going to be entirely different.
Yeah.
So there's no right or wrong answers here, guys. All right,
Let's pop that
for the
WildChild
moment
Red.
here that we have, that I've been waiting for, I don't know about y'all, and we're gonna geek out. So we're giving you all an MSG right here that is absolutely okay to partake of, because we're giving you 50% Mourvedre, 25 Grenache, and 25 Syrah. Another play on those nice, lovely Côte de Rhône styles here. It is a Côte de Rhône style.
No, we call it an MSG because our other one, the Rhone Red, is Grenache dominant. So that's a GSM, and that's what people in the biz usually refer to Côte de Rhône style wine. So this is kind of a joke that we call it an MSG, but it seems to work for Val. La-di-da.
People normally like it, you know what I mean? And I crack myself up, so why not?
Well, you are all about the Mourvedre. I mean, there was a time I think every time Val opened her mouth about wine, she was saying something about Mourvedre.
About Mourvedre. It is.
When this wine came out, when this WildChild came out, and you, Sam, when you put the majority Mourvedre in, that was the key right there. And we're gonna give it a little sniff and a taste, yeah.
Well, I have a super quick story that everyone will love, and this is just to share a little tidbit about why I love Sam Pillsbury, the person, so much, and not just Pillsbury wine, although this is fantastic.
Blush, blush, blush.
When this was put into a bottle, there was this phenomenon going on with the Pillsbury 2017 Reds, and especially with this. It was ready to drink after 4 days in the bottle.
Yeah, it was crazy.
You and I were working a Prescott Wine Festival, and it was Mother's Day weekend, and Sam was bringing a load of wine to Cottonwood, and surprised me. We had been on the phone, and I still didn't know what he was doing. Showed up to this festival, and for those of you that don't know the area very well, the guy went almost an hour out of his way just to put a bottle of WildChild Red in Jason and I's hand and watch us react to how good it was, first of all, and how it was so ready to drink right away. So we're all emotionally attached to this. It was something that we were all blown away with, that it was so good so quickly.
Yeah.
So.
Well, it's not the first nor the last time that we'll be emotionally attached to,
Well,
to
no.
a wine.
No,
And, you know,
but-
it's like sending your child off to college. It's like, bye, we'll never see you again. You know, like we'll keep a memory of you in our
I'm
closet.
trying to keep cases around here. I'm trying to keep a few cases hiding, but it is difficult.
Yeah, what I love about the Mourvèdre, how it plays in here, is it gives you that kind of peppery quality in the nose, spicy. So, it almost just starts to make you think of food.
Yeah.
Because of those kind of smells. You just kind of want to like season something up, like with some nice seasoning, and let this clear your palate, and really get a whole different flavor from maybe even something you've cooked 100 times. But when you pair it with a wine,
Yes.
it's changing the whole profile of it, which is cool. So.
And this is something that I normally request from my home chef, Jason, here. If we have a Mourvèdre dominant or a 100% Mourvèdre around, I love to pair it with anything with like caramelized onions, sauteed mushrooms.
French onion soup.
French onion soup was the accident that just was my most happy pairing years ago. We had a 2014 bottle of Mourvèdre, and Jason made French onion soup, and that pairing was just heaven. And I go, now I know what a life-changing pairing can be like.
She was on heaven.
But yay, wild children.
So we call these wild child wines, and like most of our wine names, they're like passenger airline crashes. There's always three reasons. In this case, the first reason was the first ones we made in '09. I did as a field blend of the whites and the reds from across the road in an abandoned vineyard. Field blend means you throw all the wines into the same fermenter, and you don't blend them afterwards by selecting and sniffing and tasting and balancing. So it's kind of random, but it also opens up doors because you sometimes come up with stuff that you couldn't have predicted, and I always liked that. So that was the first reason. The second reason was I wanted to have the ability to change the blends all the time. All our other wines are basically classical style varieties and classical styles, and these are kind of me, and these are both inventions. And once again, the funny thing about it is they just get so highly awarded. It's ridiculous, because some of them are partly accidents. So the other reason for Wild was I wanted to be able to change the blends. And then the nice third thing about it was I just had a little boy, and so this seemed like perfect. But we did something quite funny with the label, because when I was applying for the label from the basically the BATF, I realized that I had the word child in a wine label, and so I made up a new word. There's no such word in the English language. One word with two capitals. And it appeared to have sneaked past the computer because we've been using it for a decade now.
Hear, hear.
Yeah, I remember the first time I tasted a Wild Child, it was WildChid Red 2012.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And that was a Sangio Merlot blend. And those are some of the grapes that we really didn't grow.
They came from Fort Bowie, 29 miles down the road.
That was one of the one talking points when I was behind the bar. Hey, this comes from just right across the road here. And we get these grapes, but the Sangio Merlot blend was so strawberry that I loved it so much.
It was very acidic.
Yeah, I just love that about it. Yeah. And even as it's evolved in its different blends and things, it's still kind of makes you remember that too.
The wild children are growing up in some cases, I guess we could say.
And they're in all Total Wines in Arizona.
Yeah.
And they're in a lot of AJs, and then they're in a bunch of other places like Arcadia Premium and Backstreet Wine, and you can look up on our website, find out where they are, and see if you can get them. So thanks, guys.
Yeah.
This was fun.
Thank you, guys.
Okay.
Cheers, you guys.
Take care.
Stay well. We love you.